Welcome to Spain. Feliz Navidad,
Oh,
Tanya.
yes.
Tis the season.
Almost Merry Christmas. It is the season. 'Tis the season to be happy and festive.
I am so looking forward to the season. We are going to put up our tree later, so we are going to be festive
Okay,
for the whole
isn't that
season.
a bit late? Like I feel we put ours up, but I felt like we were late. And it was the only reason why was because we couldn't find it because we have everything in boxes and we finally found the Christmas tree
No,
box.
we're doing ours on time, which we'll discuss in today's
Okay, you're
episode.
doing Spanish
But let's,
time. We're doing
yeah,
American time.
you're doing
But
American. We are
first,
fully. Do you have an
I
Spain?
have a what? Spain?
Okay, not an not a but a
It's fun,
Okay.
but I don't know why. But it is fun. So we were. I mean, I'm driving around, like doing a lot of stuff, moving wise, and we were over by this little area near us that has like a Carrefour, a couple of shops, like an animal shop, probably a McDonald's, and a couple of fast food places. Very small area. Outside of the Carrefour is okay, so they put up Christmas trees, not a lot, but there's like one Christmas tree in the middle with some lights on it, and these are all things
Hmm.
that during the day they don't look like anything. They're just going to be lights that they've, that type of thing. So it's not
Okay.
highly festive, but it's going to have some lights up. And then on this one corner, there's a I don't know what you call them. It's the things that you like kids put their face in, like if you go to an amusement park or something, and it's all painted.
Yeah, like they're like usually like a scene, like they're
Yeah,
funny,
it's like
right?
a
It's like
cutout,
maybe
right?
a cutout, and you can be a character,
Yeah,
or maybe you're robbing a bank, or
right.
what. Oh, last year we went to a nativity scene at Chativa, and they had one, and we were the cadanar, like you
There
put
you
your face
go.
in, you're taking
Yeah.
the poop.
So
Yeah.
this is like if you imagine it's like a kind of a wireframe and it's all made of tinsel. So it's all like looks very Christmassy. And there's
Okay.
a place for you to put your face. But what this thing is a sheep with a Christmas hat on it, like a Santa hat on it. And I just am not sure.
But by itself,
So there's nothing else around it. There's no scene
so
around
it's not like a
it.
sheep in a
No, and
nativity.
that's what I'm thinking. It probably come. Maybe the sheep are really big here because we'll go into this because we are talking about Christmas and Christmassy things in this episode, and we'll talk about that. So maybe because the nativity scenes are big, like they've taken this out, and a sheep is a really important part of Christmas here. But that's all it is. There's
I,
nothing else around it. So it's like white tinsel makes up like the whole sheep, and then it's got the Christmas hat. And then if your kid puts the face in that, then you're like a Christmas sheep, and which is super cute.
but
But I'm not sure why.
but But right, but what does that mean?
Yeah,
Does it mean any? Are we all just looking too deeply into something and
maybe.
just
I
take the
don't
picture and
know.
go inside and buy
Yeah, like
something?
last year, for instance, they had giant Christmas presents that you could walk through and they were all lit up. Like that made sense, right? That
Okay,
was cute and festive
right.
and created a nice environment. And this year it's a sheep.
Well, all right
Yeah,
then.
there you go.
Well, on that note, we're talking about how we, as
Hmm.
foreigners, expats, do Christmas in Spain, bringing our old in with their old,
Absolutely. And if
right?
anyone knows anything about this that we don't know, like specifically about sheep, please let us know.
Yes.
So as you've seen already, we kind of have different ways of doing some things. And I think culturally the big difference that I found here was the kind of the three kings, the Dia de los Reyes Magos, and the whole gift giving situation. Like that kind of
Hmm.
threw us, and it created a little bit of drama in our house, I will say.
How did it give you drama? Because my kids they have welcomed this with open arms. With the
Well, maybe you give more gifts than I do. The issue was that all of Xena's gifts were given to her on Christmas, right? So what we do,
Okay,
like just as a little bit of a backstory, we always go back. Well, other than during COVID, we always go back to England for Christmas because that's where my family is, and that's where we celebrate Christmas. And my brother with his kids and everybody, and so this is what we do.
hmm,
The and then we come back here usually before school starts, and so then we hit. The Reyes Magos is on the 6th of January, so we get here before the 6th, and then all of Xena's friends are getting their gifts, but she's had all of her
hmm,
gifts. So now
right.
we have a situation where I just bought you 1,000 Christmas gifts. I'm not going out and buying you more. So by the second year, it was like, which I'm going to pick a gift that you're going to save so that you have something to open, because she doesn't want to be
Hmm.
hanging out with her friends like, what did you get for Reyes Magos? What did you get? And she's like, nothing, right? So this is a little
Right,
bit of drama.
right.
Now we always leave a gift for it so she has something to open, but she's not going to wait for all her gifts like the Spanish children. That's not happening.
Yeah, right. Because in Spain, it's the reverse,
Right.
right? They'll get one or two little gifts on
Mm-hmm.
Christmas, but the big haul comes on Three Kings Day because that's
Exactly.
traditionally and if you follow the religion of it all,
Okay.
Three Kings Day makes a lot more sense than the birth
They
of
did
Christ
bring
to
the
get a
gifts,
gift.
right?
They brought the
Yeah.
gifts to help, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't. Someone's when you give birth, someone's not just throwing gifts at you. While
I mean,
they're,
I feel like some
it's like,
people they were. I wasn't. No. You got a baby. That's your gift. What?
but they come by later after you've settled, right? After the
Right.
baby is settled, and then they come to the house and
Or
bring you
before,
things, right?
way
Or
before the baby shower,
or
I
way
guess, is when they
before.
really come.
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so for us that was kind of an adjustment, because we already do things a little weird in our house, because my mom's Danish, and in Scandinavia they celebrate and open all the presents on the 24th evening. That's the big day. So we're
Ah.
all over the place now. It's like, when you want a gift,
So
open a
like in
gift.
Scandinavia, is it like you have a family dinner and then you
Yeah.
open your presents
Yeah, and then when
afterwards?
we were kids, it was like, can we have one? The kids are always jumping around wanting gifts earlier, right? So it's like, can we have? So
Mm-hmm.
we would be allowed like one before dinner, then you would have a big dinner, and then after dinner you would sit around and open all the presents. Yeah,
Gotcha.
and then
Yeah.
Christmas Day is the all the presents that Santa bought. So it kind of, I like it because it kind of spreads things out a little bit, actually.
Oh, so you'd get
Hmm.
both. You'd get
Of
the
course.
family gifts the evening of,
And
and
then
then
Santa
Santa's gifts.
Santa on Christmas, yeah. So
Gotcha.
that way you
Gotcha.
get presents, and then if you're in Spain and Scandinavian, well, you really got it made.
You've got it made. Now, so we moved here, and I was like, our first year, I was like, let's follow these
Hmm.
traditions. Now, what has worked out for us? I mean, some people back in the States thought I was a bah humbug, but I have a rule that my tree cannot be up for more than 4 weeks. I am not looking to put up my tree after July 4th, and I'm not looking to take it down 7 days before Easter. Like I'm not that
So
American
you're very
person.
specific about the when it goes up
Like
and down.
my history of the tree went up the weekend after Thanksgiving, and
Okay.
then it came down the day after
Oh.
Christmas. We all wanted our floor space back. We all were like, we're
Oh.
done. There's no more gifts
Oh, that's
underneath
so
it, so
sad.
it's just taunting us. And and so now that here we have the de los Reyes, we know that it's got to stay up now after New Year's
Is
for
that
this
hard for you?
day. Well, no, we have moved it, so it doesn't go up until December 8th. So now we've got the 4 weeks that it's up,
Oh my god!
which
So
is
it can only,
when
so you, in your house the Christmas tree can only stay up for 4 weeks, and that's it. But so you've
I
shifted
can't
it.
handle it any more than that. I want my house
Oh
back.
my gosh!
It
I'm
was
so.
nice and fun, but I want my life back. Especially after the presents are open. Like now it's just teasing me. It's taunting me. We're done.
Paloma and
Take it
Omar, I'm
down.
so sorry. You can come over to our house all the way till the 12th of January.
They're the ones asking, are we taking it down yet? Like,
Because
they're done with it
I
too.
love having the Christmas tree up. So since having lived in America, I have conceded, and I will put it up after Thanksgiving. Like I said, we're a little late this year because we couldn't find the box, but then
Mm-hmm.
I will take it all the way to the traditional, anyway, English American thing, which I think is, it can stay up until I think the 12th of January, I think is the day that theoretically there's like a day that you should be down by then. But I don't care.
Never heard of
No.
that.
And
Never heard of that.
I'm like Christmas music starting in like November. Like I am all over Christmas, and I will have it for as long as I can. And yeah.
See, I love it, but I go hard for 4 weeks and then I'm done. I'm not,
There's no
not
time limit
spreading it
on
out.
joy.
No, we can still have joy without it. Jeez, do you hear this, people? I'm being harangued.
I feel like
I'm
this
being
is not the first
harangued.
time, since you already said your friends in the States called you a bar humbug.
Oh, people
So
are like, yeah, then people are like, you're cool. I'm like, no, we totally
you
enjoy
should
it,
be
but it's
used to
like,
this.
but like after we've opened up all the gifts. So anyway, it's worked out for
Yes.
us, and to now keep it up after New Year's, because now
Yeah.
it stays up after New Year's, because December 8th we put it
Mhm.
up. It's fine. We still do the larger haul at Christmas, but moved, and I'm like, we do a few, and I've got special wrapping paper for Three Kings
Oh
Day,
wow.
so
It's
it's
all
all separate. Oh
separate.
yeah, but we are like you. They get the more on the
Yeah.
Christmas and a couple on Three Kings. I will say with this tradition, that seems strange to me, and it is shifting here. Like, do people do put up trees here? It's just not the same. That's not the it's not the equivalent that we're used to. But to me, it just seems so cruel because the kids go back to school on the 7th, so they get to play with their toys for exactly what 13 hours, and then they
Yeah,
gotta
that's
go
a bit of
back
a
to
bummer. And I
school.
will say, speaking of school, the thing that's really tripped us up is because we go back to England. They break up from for school for the Christmas holidays like the day before Christmas. Like it's so
Yeah, yeah.
difficult because this holiday has to stretch all the way until after the 6th of January. Like in
Hmm.
England and America, the kids are going back to school by the 3rd, 4th, or whatever of January, so they can take off for the Christmas break around like 17th, 18th, 19th, whatever. And here it's just so close to Christmas that we are often missing school days so that we're not paying an arm and a leg for tickets to go back to England if we leave like 2 days
Right.
before Christmas. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, usually the 23rd is the first day
Yeah.
off, but they also do go. I mean, we had longer breaks actually in LA. We had like 3 weeks off for Christmas. We had very long
We
Christmas
maybe
breaks. It was too long.
Yeah.
And
But they always start. My
but
point was they always started earlier,
yeah,
regardless of
yes,
when
for
they went
sure.
to. They always started earlier and gave you I mean, because I personally also like it's not just because of it's a break. I mean, you need time to eat, even if you're not going where you're going. You need time for Christmas shopping and maybe more decorating and getting into the Christmas spirit. Like you can't just be like off the day before Christmas and then like bam. Like to me,
Right.
that's like it takes all the preparation and fun out of having that time. So that's
For
been a
sure.
hard
But
adjustment for us
yeah.
for sure.
And here, the Christmas Eve, like their Christmas celebration is different, right? So they do get a few gifts the morning of Christmas, but the evening before, it's a family day,
Mm-hmm.
like it's a family meal. They may go to a midnight mass, they may eat after midnight mass and stuff, but it isn't this celebration that we're used to of these huge Christmas parties, right? There isn't a Christmas season beforehand of like you're invited to all these Christmas
No, yeah,
parties and you don't see people like the shopping is. We've talked about how the consumer culture is less here, but you know the stores are set up for Christmas, but it's not like in the States where you see people with 20 shopping bags because they're spreading it out, and if they get
yeah.
less, it's like kind of what we talked about the birthday parties
Mm-hmm.
too, right? They'd rather get 10 euros from every invitee to buy the one gift versus having
Right.
20 $10 €10
Right. And you
gifts,
touched on the
right?
Christmas trees a bit. I mean, people like I think let's talk about decorations a little bit. Like the town squares will have a tree and they'll be lit and
Hmm.
they'll have nice little light things going across certain streets around the town square maybe or maybe in the city a lot more of
Oh,
that.
yeah, a
And
lot of
so
the
they'll
streets
they'll
have
do
this.
all those
Yeah.
lights and Christmas so it gets very festive from a city point of view. And then in people's homes like there's no Christmas tree lots. You're not finding a real Christmas
Mm-mm.
tree. It's all fake, which I'm up for, but it's all like the big shops will be selling different fake Christmas trees of different sizes, which has also increased. And I think now, I mean, we put lights and all the decorations on our tree. I don't see that in a lot of houses here. I mean, they might put up a tree and some people are doing it, but that's increasing. Kind of like like Halloween. We talked about Halloween on one of our
Right.
episodes. It's like it's increasing because it is pretty and it's fun, but it's more
And
of
there's
it.
more foreigners and people
Mm-hmm.
moving here, and Hollywood is advertising it more. And I've talked to some Spaniards with smaller kids, and they're like, yeah, we're starting to give them more gifts or the
Mm,
toys on Christmas morning, so they do have the time to play with it. And then
right.
on the 7th, like, they might be, or the 6th, they're starting to give them
Right.
the socks and the
Because that's the other
clothes,
thing.
right?
Because if you've got a small kid that's off on a school break, and they're not going
Yeah,
to get
you
their
can keep them
toys till
busy.
and the whole point is for them to have all these toys to play with, right? So that they're entertained.
Right.
I would imagine.
Paloma and I were walking around, and this was like 3, 4 weeks ago. It was a while
Mm-hmm.
ago. Okay, it was a while, and we were walking in the neighborhood, and we saw a giant Christmas tree in a window, all lit up with all the ornaments on it. And Paloma looks at me, and she goes, "Dad, Americans." And we kept walking. And I was like, "Totally,
Yeah,
that's an American. Like they are
for
putting that up
sure. And we
now."
have our
I'm like,
Christmas tree in the window, and I haven't seen any others, so I think we might be the only
no.
ones.
And you see, like, there's a few places that you can buy them, right? So you can buy them at the Carrefours, your kind of big boxy stores. And in the city, that you may see an occasional one at one of the Chinese stores, but again, they're a lot smaller. And these apartments aren't necessarily small. Like we bought our American tree because it's pink. So we shipped our tree over, our artificial tree from the States. It's a Barbie pink tree, and we love it. So, but what you'll see is you don't see the live tree lots. And if you want a live tree, most of the Chinese stores will have like the 2-foot tall in a planter pine trees, right? Those little topiary looking things.
And poinsettias everywhere. You can buy those fake and real.
Fake and real everywhere. What I am noticing in just this is our third Christmas here is at the Chinese stores is the bigger one that's in our neighborhood. The whole front section of that when you walk into the store, which is a huge section, like 40 by 40 foot room, is all Christmas now. And it wasn't like that before. And it's America, English Christmas. Right. It's Santa Claus. It's all this stuff. I'm like, not a lot of nativity. I'm like, they know who the market is in this neighborhood.
Yeah, because right? I'm not seeing that stuff around and about that much. And like you said, I think the American aspect of it is the lights. So that when the lights get involved, that's what makes it seem very American as well. Like the lights on the trees, the lights everywhere, like the string lights. So yeah, because I feel like in the stores you can buy loads and loads of string lights and stuff, and obviously in the street and the trees that are put up in the town squares are all very festive and color, and lots of lights and bright and colorful. Well, maybe not so colorful, but very bright. But I'm not seeing like our tree. We have a tree up with lights on it. I think the lights on the trees in your home and lighting up your house with fairy lights and stuff, that is the American thing that's kind of starting to come over more. So even though you can buy a lot of those lights, I don't see that a lot. And I think that's the point where people are putting up trees that you might not see out from the street because they're not all covered in lights. So that's what I'm seeing, because I don't see a lot of trees that are lit up in people's homes as much.
It's weird, but I will like to say is I don't know if that's true about the lights on the tree. I mean, I think the Santa stuff is new, like that aspect of it. What is interesting here is in the city here, and I don't know about the town that you live in, but most living rooms are on the insides of the courtyards. A lot of these apartments, which is very weird to me. The bedrooms are on the streets, so you might not see the trees because they're facing the insides of the building, the courtyards.
Yeah, but I mean, just even just walking around, I'm not seeing. I will see the odd balcony that has string lights on it. I mean, it's just like this. I don't know what they're buying the string lights for. I'm not seeing a lot of them when I'm walking around. That's all I'm saying. In private places, I'm not seeing a lot of string lights. In America, it's just lights. Oh, you light everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, people are lighting their houses, their eaves, and that you don't see icicle lights here.
No, but even in England, if we see a really lit up house, it's like that's an American, and now that's changing, and the English are getting into it, and it's fun, but they're still not doing it. If it's a really lit up house, it's probably an American.
You mean like lit up, meaning decorations on the outside and
big
all that
trees in the window with lights on, like the whole, like the balcony. Like there's one balcony right now. Okay, it's only early December, but there's one balcony in our whole town that has string lights on it right now. If we were in America, we would be at it already, like quite well.
Right. Well, I mean, the city itself is a cascade of lights. It's
lovely.
Almost like it is like it's like the second Fias, right? Because it's all the avenues, like the big avenues have these big light sculptures that you walk through. It's like a tunnel of lights.
And they did a nice Christmas tree in the middle of the town square in the city. I saw that. That was really pretty.
And every Saturday there's a fireworks display that only lasts 3 minutes.
Nice.
But they relight the tree every Saturday with a fireworks display through the Christmas. So if you want to come into town on a Saturday, it happens at around 6:30.
That's nice. They do street. Speaking of which, they do tree lightings, which I think is nice. Everywhere that I've lived, they set up everything, and then they do an official start of the Christmas season by having a tree lighting event, which usually comes with some mascletas or fireworks and things.
December 8th is the day traditionally that people are setting up for their Christmas decorations in their
Mm-hmm.
home, their trees, their nativity scenes, which is, we didn't really talk about, we kind of talked about it. That's the big day. We've talked about Three Kings being the big day, but the decorations that people are putting up is this nativity scene. And some
Yes.
people, like, they give up their dining room table for this nativity scene, because it's not like in the States, I don't know about in Britain, but in the States, everyone has a nativity scene and it's got 4 figures, 5 figures. It's got, what is that, 5? You got 6.
Yeah.
You got the 3 wise men, mother and Joseph, Mary, and the baby, and maybe an animal or two, a donkey and a sheep, right? Here it's hundreds and hundreds of people, like, pass these down and get a new figure.
Yeah.
It's all of
Oh, for
Jerusalem.
sure.
Or all of
And like
Bethlehem
your
is at
local
their
church
table.
might do one, or the kids in the school might do one. But yeah, I don't know if they do it every year, but in the town hall in Valencia, they have a whole room, which is a nativity scene. And
they do
it
that
is
every year. They do.
It is amazing. It is literally
Mhm.
like walking through an ancient town. You're seeing everything, and maybe this is again where the sheep came from, because there were a lot of sheep there. But it's like it's not just, like you said, it's not just a nativity scene. It is the whole town of what it looked like when Jesus was born and everything. I mean, it's amazing,
Mhm.
right? I mean, truly, if you have time to go to see that at the town hall, amazing.
And many churches will do these elaborate ones. I mean, that we talked about the San Nicolas de Bari
Mm-hmm.
church. They do one that's maybe like, I don't know, 10, 15 feet
Oh,
wide.
wow.
Like, it's what do you call that? A diorama,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's like, it's maybe like 4 or 5 feet deep. It's behind the glass case. And it's very
Mm-hmm.
miniature, but there's thousands of pieces to this
Wow. Yeah.
nativity scene. Like, it's breathtaking. And then if you go down to Jativa, they have this life-size nativity scene that you
Oh,
walk through,
wow.
and you're actually walking through the whole village. And there's
That's
there's
amazing.
the all the things, and there's the Cadagnar. Is that how we pronounce it? Cadagnar. That's a Catalan thing that they do in Valencia too. And one of the figurines you have in your nativity scene is a drunk man taking a poop.
Right. And this is very serious.
and down there in Jativa, like I brought up at the
Right.
beginning, they had the cutout where you could sit there
there
and
you
see
go.
like taking a poop. Yeah,
That would make more sense.
that would make sense. The sheep does it. Yeah. So we bought a little cognac. So we don't really have a nativity scene, but we do like the little like Christmas
Yeah.
village with the houses and stuff. And I bought a
I
cognac
love
to
that.
put
Yeah,
in
so
there.
they do take the nativity scenes very seriously, and I think that goes kind of to the whole theme of how they do Christmas here, which is that the Christmas part of this holiday is a much more religious based, family oriented situation, and then the kind of the gifts and stuff come later. So these nativity scenes are really amazing, definitely worth doing a tour. And then we have some Christmas markets as well, right? I think in different places.
And the funny thing is, you go to the Christmas market, and they're selling thousands of the figurines for your nativity.
So we had a Christmas market in Nacra they had bought like live animals there to really make it look like.
Oh, were they like? Could you pet them? Was it like a petting zoo type thing, or they just like a scenery?
For the scenery, and then I'm not sure what was happening. I'm going to have to look into this. I think it was geese or duck or something, and they were walking those like through the town, like. So there was a whole other thing that was going on that obviously I didn't know what was going on. So part of the reason why they had the live animals there was because they were doing some sort of festive thing with them. So it was really cool. So you kind of walk into where they had the Christmas market, and there was a whole area of like straw and animals, and you really
so
it was
cool.
Like really fun. So it's like definitely a different feeling around Christmas, I think. Yeah,
I love that. I do remember in LA at Christmas time, they did bring reindeer in.
And fake snow in certain places I've seen.
Exactly. So if anyone's known anything about us, we do like to talk about some Spanish food. So
we do.
should we talk about what kind of food you're going to find on these city streets and the bakery windows and on the tables?
Well, I will say at the Christmas fairs, it tends to be similar stuff. And they've got the churros. You always have the churros truck going, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe some other like hot food things you can find. So the Christmas fairs are kind of fun. But as far as what people are having at home,
a lot of seafood. I mean, I think Christmas is, and it's an Italian thing too. Seafood is very heavy for Christmas in America, and I'm sure in the UK we've talked about how Thanksgiving is like just Christmas dinner,
so you've
right?
got
in
the
the
typical
UK,
turkey, ham, roast potatoes, all the delicious, yummy things, and mince pies.
And that's, we've talked about those cookies that have coming out now, the
Oh yes.
polverones. And the Turon is coming out. The
Well, the
Turon,
Turon has been out for a
Turon.
while again, and that came out, I don't know, weeks ago, as far from.
Yeah, it came out a couple
So,
weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, and the cookies came out, but that's like they're like teasing you.
yeah.
It's like little. It's like, just so you know, it's coming. We're gonna start releasing these little treats.
And we tried a new one. I tried a pistachio one that I hadn't tried before, because there's so many of them, right? Well, we were kind of it was appealing because it has sort of chocolate on the outside, and then it has it was kind of Turon-ish texture, but it was a bit softer.
It wasn't the nougat.
And it had little bits of pistachio in it, which was nice. So it had a little bit of a crunch to it, but the texture inside was a smidgen too soft for me. But
well, we thought it would taste more like Dubai chocolate, so we didn't like it. I think we've tried the same one, and we got it. We're like, it's not Turon, and it's not really Dubai chocolate, because we were like, oh, it's going to be like, so we weren't sold on that one, but we liked some of the other flavors.
Some of the other flavors are amazing, but that one was a little disappointing in texture for me. If it had been a bit harder and a little bit more like a Turon, I think it would have been, but I mean, I don't know the definition of a Turon. That's probably an episode we'll have to do, but
we'll have to do a poco because I think there's regional Turons too. There's the Alicante is known for their own.
There's so many of them, and they are of different textures, but the traditional one is more like a nougat type thing. And you have the two nougats. There's I don't know which countries have it. So you have a chocolate nougat thing, which is what we have in England, and then there's this other nougat, which I think is more of an American one, which is this white.
Well, that's not American, that's Spanish.
But in America, you use the word nougat, I think, for this white.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Whereas in England, we would use nougat. It would be more of a chocolatey, hazelnutty, sort of praline-y type thing. Anyway, whichever one.
Right. In America, it's more of a white colored nougat. Like when you go into like a Three Musketeers, there's like a nougat in the inside.
That word is a bit confusing. So I can't explain that. But anyway.
And the nougat here isn't like either of those, because it is a firmer and it almost looks like marble floor when you cut into it, right?
So you have these ones that are totally cuttable, and then you have these others that are much softer and have little bits of things in them. And I think they all are very good. Like they all have lots of really delicious nuts in them, and some have little crispy bits, and some of them are much more like a hard chocolate. So it's just, there's an array of whatever it is. So that's why we would like, let's try a new one. Because we keep buying the same one that we know we like, and I guess we're just going to stick with those. But the other thing that we have, which was new to me, was the special Rascon de Reis cake thing that you have, the king cake.
Yeah.
And that is extremely decorative. It's got all these little candied colored things on it,
like dried fruit thingies, right? On the, yeah. It's very sweet. It's kind of, it's a brioche cake kind of thing, right? But if you have ever been to New Orleans, we don't really do it in America, but in New Orleans they have a king cake that it comes out from the Epiphany all the way to Mardi Gras. It's more of a Mardi Gras thing, and it's colored and stuff. So I knew it from that because I had a friend in the States who was very into New Orleans, and you have that friend that goes to one place, and then for the next 30 years, you have to hear about that place. Yeah. So he goes to New Orleans all the time, and he comes back with some new thing. And you're like, yes, we know they do that in New Orleans.
I think they have the same religious origin, those two cakes, but here it is a massive thing. You'll see it in all the patisseries, like everywhere. Everyone's getting them. And inside, there are two surprises that are somewhere in the cake. And there's a bean and a figurine of a king.
Right.
So those are the two things. And what you do, it's just like a circular, like a donut, but like a huge one. You cut slices out of it. And so everybody gets a slice, and whoever gets the figure will be crowned king and have good luck for the rest of the year. And whoever gets the bean has to pay for it. For the next one, I think. I think you pay for the next one next year.
Right, you pay for the next one, I think. So yeah, don't bring your receipt to the dinner party. Be like, hey, that's how much you owe me.
I have to say, it was nice. There's nothing wrong with it. It wasn't my favorite cake that I've had thing. but it
I
was
mean,
fun.
I'm going to concur. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's lovely. It's fun, but I don't come out with joy seeing those are out.
Right.
Like,
I'm not
right.
like, oh my God, yay.
Yeah,
Although
exactly.
I think I would like to get the king. So maybe we'll have to get one and I'll just have to dig around and find it before anyone else gets to it.
Why is she taking a fork to the whole
The
cake?
whole cake is,
What
well, I
else has
can't
had
take the whole cake because
it?
someone else has to get the bean, right? But
Right.
but that's a fun thing for the
What?
kids as well. I mean, probably fun for adults too, but the kids get all really excited about finding those two things in the cake. So that's kind of fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So while it's not my favorite cake, I will say, as
Mhm.
we were talked about a little bit earlier about the traditional foods and how we have like the turkey and the ham and the mince pies in England. In England,
In
right?
England,
Not
right.
here.
Yeah.
Well, everything beats a mince pie or a Christmas cake. So this cake for the Three Kings is significantly better than a mince pie or an English Christmas pudding, which are absolutely
Okay.
disgusting, in my opinion.
I don't think I've had a Christmas pudding.
You're very
Is it
lucky. Yeah. Well,
okay?
congratulations.
Is it the British version of the American fruit cake? Like everyone
Do
gives
they
it and no
have
one
that
wants
in
it,
America?
kind of
So it
thing?
is, yeah, it's a fruit cake that, I mean, you can now buy ones that are much nicer flavored, and I have had some that are kind of good. They've got like a lot more orange in them and stuff. But traditionally, for many years, you have this minced meat. It's called minced meat, which is all this
Hmm.
dried fruit and stuff that's
It's like dates and
just
figs and that
really
kind
so
of
not my thing.
thing.
And it all is in a gooey sort of mess, right? And I
Hmm.
don't know why it's called mince meat, but you can buy that in jars and you can make mince pies. But now you can just buy so mince pies, that stuff in a little pie crust. The Christmas
Hmm.
pudding is that just really hard, like, and then you set it on fire. And then that's how you pour brandy over it, set it on fire, and that becomes your
Hmm.
dessert. And then
Gotcha.
those two things come with brandy butter, which is good. So I think people are just using it as a way to eat a lot of brandy butter, which is butter mixed with brandy and sugar, and that is good. So once you
Oh, that
pour
sounds
that on
good.
top, you can't really taste the cake, right? And then we
Right.
have like a Christmas cake, which is the same stuff but in a cake, and that's covered in marzipan and fondant, and then it's usually decorated. So there's a lot of this mince stuff going around at Christmas in England, and it's kind of one of those things, like you
Okay.
said, you kind of give them as gifts, and everyone's like, "Thank you," and nobody's there, it's just going around.
Right.
Nobody wants to open it up or eat it.
Right.
So anyway, so the Three Kings, the pastry they have here, much so not to be rude because
Much better.
it's not my
Yeah.
favorite pastry, but it is a lot better than what we have in England. So really, I should
Right.
not be throwing
Right.
stones.
For sure. What I will say is that what I love about Spain, right, is all these things have their religious traditions, and
Hmm.
right, it all comes from religious. But Spain itself is not a religious country like Italy is, right? Like it's so they celebrate all these holidays, but like they have a pooping man on the nativity scene, right?
Yeah.
There is still a jest, there is it's
And I
still
think it's
human,
like they
right?
want
Like
to
that's what
have
I love about that.
festivals and they want to celebrate, and
They
they're
want to have
using
fun.
the
Yeah.
religious holidays to do that. But it's not done in a kind of in your face religious way where you better be participating in
Right.
all of this or you can't participate in that. It's really, I think, an avenue for just having a really good time and having parades and mascletas and fireworks and food and
Fireworks and fire and in Valencia. So now I've been here three. This will be our third Christmas in, and the things we're now like we get excited to see them starting to put up the
hmm.
lights, and we're like, what day are they gonna? Because there is a day that they light up
Yeah,
all
because they
the
put them
lights,
up and
so
they
they'll
sit
be up for
there,
a
right?
while. They sit there, and you're like antsy. You're like, when's that light going
Totally.
on? What's the day, right? And then the Christmas tree and the markets, and there's several markets like by the cathedral. They
Hmm.
have one down by City of Arts and Sciences. They
Okay.
do a Christmas market as well. It's
And you had talked a little bit
they're similar,
about finding Santa, and I think I saw we were at
right?
Bonaire. I say Bonaire. Zina's like
Hmm.
Bonaire, so whatever, however you pronounce it. The big mall that's outside of the city to the west
That
that you
we'll
never
never
go to.
go
But
to,
they
but
seem
yes.
to have something that looked like it might resemble a place that Santa would go sit with a little train that goes around, which was super cute. So I'm
Hmm.
assuming Santa's going to go there. You don't see a lot of it. He's not showing up
No, it's
everywhere, but
not a
you have
thing
seen it
here.
a few
No.
times, I think. So it is.
We got our
So it
picture
is
taken
possible,
last
but
year
just
because,
not everywhere.
yes, it's not a thing, but they do. I think some of the malls might have it, but it's not a thing, and it's not the money grab either, right? It's not like you have to spend $50 to even go near Santa because they have to get the pictures and you have to beg if it's like you bring your own camera, take your own picture. Like I said, our hospital had it last year, and
so doable.
but there are people. What is a thing here, which is more so, is that I have not gone to it, but I want to. Maybe I can drag the kids to it this year because they're at the age where they hate doing this stuff, and so I have to make them get their picture taken with Santa. But they do it with the three wise men that you get pictures with them, and I think they do it separately. So it's like you try to find the different.
Fun.
Right? It's not like all at once. I think.
Or you can do what I'm going to do, which is just take Xena to the sheep.
Right to the sheep.
That's easy. And I think the only last thing we have is really Christmas season. Then we have the sales coming after that. So
yeah, then we go. Everybody has January 7th. Get your behind down to the stores because they're starting to sell everything for another month, and then we go into Fias. I mean, part of me don't hate me for taking down my tree. We have another festival coming up. Like we gotta move it on. Times
are moving.
Time's marching.
But it's very fun. Yeah. So like, I mean, you obviously have a much more knowledge about Christmas here because we always go back to England. So you are the knowledgeable person about the Valencian Christmas. Plus, you're in the city, so it's a little different. But yeah.
Well, put it this way: I may have more knowledge between the two of us. I wouldn't necessarily am the knowledgeable one. Let's not throw that out there.
Oh, just take it.
Okay, I'll take the win. On that note, Tanya, talk to you
later.
soon.
Bye.
Hey, can't get enough of us? Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Ospain Podcast.
And on our website, ourspain.com, which we will be updating with exciting new things as we grow.
We would love for you to message us with any topics you would like to hear about.
See you next time.
Bye.